All right, let's get on to your questions, and I'm just gonna. We're playing this raw, guys. I've got your questions up on my phone now. Okay, so if you have not watched the video on this Elgato, not Rode, this Elgato Prompter, then you will definitely want to watch that. But you'll be able to see kind of like, you can see like I have the preview monitor up on my monitor on the Elgato Prompter so that I can see what you're seeing, so that I know that what you're seeing as a viewer live is what I want you to see. So questions coming from you guys. Jim, anyone know the resolution for the prompter screen? Okay, Dan, did you notice any change to your video quality when shooting through the prompter glass? I get a difference with my glide gear. So here's the deal. This is a great question. When you shoot from a prompter, as you can see, the camera lens is Thank you so much, Marcus, for that distracting super chat. Appreciate you as always. Now, okay, okay, Stephen, I'm coming to your question here shortly. Yes, the 1024 by 600 is what we just said. It is a 9-inch prompter, and I discussed this in the video that I posted yesterday. 9 inches is very small. However, its primary use case is kind of close, mounted to your desk or somewhere in the vicinity. It is not built for an extended, view where you're further away. And I talk about that in the next video that is coming up about who should buy it and who should not buy it. But let's talk about the video quality when shooting through a prompter. Any prompter will decrease the quality of your video slightly. So if you were to compare same camera, side by side, one with and one without, you will see a bit of a dulling effect when it comes to the camera that has the prompter on it. This does not exclusive to the Elgato Prompter. It is any prompter that you use. Now, is it worth it? In most cases, yes. If you don't need a prompter, then no, right? If you need a prompter, it's a fantastic use case, and it's not going to be so bad that it's noticeable. Now, if you are comparing, it will be, but to the naked eye, to most viewers, you're really not going to notice that much of a difference. However, the reality check is, yes, you will have a decreased quality in terms of using a prompter, because it is looking through glass at that point. It's like looking out the window. If you were to open your balcony door, your patio door, or your window and you had no screens, thank you so much, Einar, for the super sticker. Appreciate you. So if you were to open a glass door, you would see more clearly than looking through the glass, right? So that is the kind of scenario of using a prompter that you do need to know. But it's also, to me, it's not worth getting rid of the prompter when there are so many good use cases for having a prompter, because it's actually not that decreased of a quality. Neil, is the Elgato Prompter screen large enough for Zoom calls and scripted text? I guess it depends on the distance you are from the prompter, but it does look small. So this is one of the common conversations that I'm seeing from you guys in terms of the prompter size. 9 inches is small. Absolutely, it is small for a prompter. However, the resolution, the quality of this monitor, I don't know where they sourced this from, but it is actually really good. The text I use bigger prompters, more professional prompters that I cannot read very clearly on, as clearly as I can on this screen. This screen is freaking fantastic. I can read everything on my screen right now. I am looking at, so if you look here, you can't actually see it very well. Let me see if I can kind of give you a little bit of a better scenario here. I have kind of like Here, let me see. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna do a couple of things here. I'm screwing it up. Hold on. Never mind. Okay. So here on the screen, there you go. So you can actually see behind it. I have the Windows or the Windows. I don't use Windows. I have the Mac desktop. That is what's displaying here, and I've moved the preview window or the broadcast window from Ecamm onto the monitor so I see what you see, right? I can read the text of the toolbar at the top. I can read the text on my folders on the prompter or on the prompter window. I can read everything. The clarity of this monitor is spectacular compared to some of the other more pro monitors that I use on a daily basis. And so I'm very, 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 very impressed with that. That being said, it is a small monitor. So in the video that's coming out next that you will want to, if you're not subscribed and turned on notifications for this channel, you're going to want to do that right now in order to get that notification for the next video. The next video will show you what I mean when it comes to the size of the monitor, the text size versus the scrolling speed, if you're using a prompter, is a little tricky when it comes to the Camera Hub software.
Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome.
Uh-oh.
Welcome.
Oh, we got gifted memberships. Marcus.
Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down. Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down.
There we go. There we go. Now everything's not in the, here you go. There you go. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Okay, we'll just use the handle. Whatever. Size matters sometimes. Yes. Yeah, so Dan, very, 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 very much true. So the readability, my point being to Neil's comment was the readability of this prompter is spectacular. No, hands down, spectacular. It is easy to change between having the prompter on and any other prompter that you might have as well. Now, welcome to all of our new members from the gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Marcus, for doing that. When it comes to, what was that comment that I just got rid of? Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is true. And it's also a bit of a disadvantage. So it's an advantage, but it's a disadvantage as well if you're going to be moving this camera around. If you're going to be moving your camera with the Elgato Prompter on it, it is very easy to come off because it's so easy to mount. So with every pro, you have a con. So keep that in mind. But if you're just going to be like leaving it, then just leave it and you're good to go. All right, next up, Anthony. I want to order the prompter. I haven't seen your videos. How would you advise? Again, I would highly recommend watching that one video and then the next video, but I would go ahead and get your order in. If you want a prompter, the reality is here's the baseline recommendation. If you want a prompter, you do not want to spend money on a pro prompter because you don't need the extra functionality and capability of professional prompters, then I would absolutely go for this one. I would buy this prompter over any Bluetooth prompter on the market. Hands down, 1000%, this prompter is the way to go over Bluetooth. Do not buy it, like given the price point, given the functionality of the Elgato Prompter, do not ever buy another Bluetooth prompter. I'm sorry to say it to the entire Bluetooth prompter world and ecosystem out there. Don't ever, I'm not a fan of Bluetooth prompters in the first place, but now with the price point of this one, absolutely not. Never again. No Bluetooth prompters ever. This is the way to go. If you need more professional prompter capabilities, which some of you will, then you will want to actually want to spend the money on the extra, more professional one as well. Oh man, whoa, 20% off for TwitchCon. Is TwitchCon happening right now? When is TwitchCon? I thought TwitchCon already happened. Thomas, can you use the prompter with a loop deck regarding mapping keybands and stuff? So the prompter and the loop deck, Thomas, ask that question. Give me some more clarity in terms of what you're looking for, because that those two things are very much totally different use cases. So what are you specifically asking for to be able to use? Like the loop deck is a completely different device and functionality than the Elgato Prompter. So so the answer is yes. But if you have a specific use case you're looking for that you think that conflict, let me know and we can talk through that. The Twitch code is not for the prompter. Okay. Twitch code not for the prompter. Also, Paul said it doesn't work. So never mind on that. Never mind on that. Is what only Bluetooth? That's the thing. This prompter, sorry, I don't know where I'm pointing. This prompter is not Bluetooth. It is not Bluetooth. That is why I love it so much. That is why this prompter takes the cake on, it is, like I said in the video yesterday, it is the best it is the best budget teleprompter on the market. I would choose it over any Bluetooth prompter, because the reason I say that is because people choose Bluetooth prompters for the price point, which I explain in the video that I released yesterday. So if you have not watched that video, I highly, 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 highly recommend it. And it is only one cord. So it is the power and the video that is going through this single cable, which is abnormal for prompters. So this is an LCD monitor, not a Bluetooth. And with LCDs, any other prompter on the market, you're going to have at least two cables, HDMI and power to the LCD. So I'm pretty blown away by this device. It is changing the prompter market 1000%. It is changing the entire prompter market, and that is super exciting because prompters have been the same since, like, I've been doing this stuff for 18 years. Prompters have been around since way before then. And there's just been iterative kind of, improvements to prompters over the years. This is a disruptive device. When you think about the world of technology, you have iterative improvements to a single type of device, like the iPhone, for instance, right? You see iterative improvements. And then the iPhone itself, when it came out originally, was a disruptor, right? So you have the iterative and then you have the disruptive cycles of technology improvements. This is a disruptive for the teleprompter market. That's a great question. And by the way, definitely put a queue in front of your question. If you do have questions, I just happen to see this, but it's landing in my queue. If you do put a queue in front of the question, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer this. With the small size, help with the prompter reflecting in your glasses. Jim, great question. I will do some testing of that, but my gut, so here's what I like about this prompter as well. It is very matte. And so you're not going to get a ton of reflection like you do on some of the other prompters, like the more pro prompters, the more professional prompters. And so My gut says, and I can put my glasses on and do some testing of this for a future video. I will absolutely be happy to do that. If you're not following me on Twitter, I can absolutely share, definitely follow me on Twitter so that I can share some of that as well, Instagram as well. So, but my gut says you're not really going to be getting a lot of reflection from this particular monitor. It is very, very matte. And that's also another thing that is unique about this particular one. Okay. Cicely, what camera do you travel with? I travel constantly and do not have a good travel setup yet. So because I'm traveling for a month, maybe even longer at this point, I brought I brought two cameras, both of my Sony cameras. So I have a Sony, I have both of them are Sony ZV-E10s. So I brought two Sony ZV-E10s, one with a 30 millimeter lens, one with a 16 millimeter lens, and then I brought a third lens. I brought a ton of stuff because I knew I was going to be gone for a long period of time. If you're just doing like travel, and by the way, I have a short on my camera bag. So here on this channel, if you haven't watched that, that might be fun to watch, like all the gear that I brought, and it doesn't even include all the gear that I have right now. But so what was I answering? Oh yeah, I have some additional like AI cameras, more webcam style, that you might be a better solution if you're traveling a lot and you don't want to set up. If you're going to be in a hotel room, like I'm in a home, right? And so I can steal the blank wall, and there's lots going on around me, but I can, carve out a little space for myself and just kind of like sit here for a while. So I would. I would probably, depending on the use case, if you want something small, travelable, and you're kind of come and go constantly, then I would go with something like the Link or some of the other AI cameras. And I have those with me. I will be doing some videos around that as well. Okay. Bad dinner guest. I know Prompter can be used with a mirrorless camera, but what are your thoughts on ordering it with the Facecam Pro? If you already have a mirrorless camera, go with that. Facecam and Facecam Pro are webcams. They are not the highest quality that you are going to get in terms of the quality of a camera. If you have not bought a mirrorless camera and you do not have the budget for a mirrorless camera, then you could do the Facecam or the Facecam Pro, but that's going to be money spent that you could be investing in a higher quality camera. I'm a fan of the Facecam and Facecam Pro, but not the best fan of it. Does that make sense? So sorry, I totally needed some coffee there. Yes, Elgato is just like, boom, mic drop. No, so if you follow the link in the description, you can buy this camera with our link, and we appreciate the affiliate sales, but up to you. But that 20% discount link is actually not accurate. So it is not working for this prompter. So you will not get that. Okay. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you. Okay. Lots of questions still coming through. So if you have a question about the Elgato Prompter or any teleprompter general question, go ahead and post a Q in front of that question. I'm going to continue down this path. Stephen, why should you not buy it? When should you not buy it? Talk me out of it. So the reason not to buy it is, first of all, if you just don't want a prompter. Right. And the video that I have coming out is going to go way more in depth to this answer. I'm going to give you an answer right now. And then Stephen and everybody else, I want you to watch the next video that I have coming out as soon as that is through production. I just shot that this morning, so it might be, early next week. But as soon as that video is released, it's whether you should buy it or you should not buy it. I give you exact scenarios in terms of whether you should or should not buy that. Now, that being said, the general answer is if you don't need a prompter at all, don't buy it. Like there's no point in buying something you don't need. Two, if you need more professional features and capabilities. If you don't want to if you need to have, a further, if you're doing like a virtual event, if you're doing a big live stream event, if you're doing, course and webinar videos that require a team, this prompter is not likely to be the right prompter for those scenarios. However, if you just need it for, simple use cases right here at your desk, it's a fantastic choice. Mary, what lighting are you using? So I traveled with a ton of gear because I'm gone for a long period of time. And so I do have an LED light behind me, but that's it. And then I actually have a dome light in front of me, because I wanted to get the best quality potentially light. But when you're traveling, I would not travel with a dome light. Just wouldn't. Like, you can see the dome right here, right? Like, right here. Where am I pointing? you can you can see that right here. I would not travel with that. You would want to do something like the newer flat panels to travel with, for instance. Okay, Giovanni, how do your camera image in the prompter? So I show this to you in the video that I released yesterday. If you've not watched that video, we're going to drop the link to the video that I posted yesterday on this channel. You're going to open that up in a new tab right now. If you're on mobile, you're going to copy that link and save it for the next one, for the next video to watch after I'm done here. But this is any LCD monitor for a prompter is going to serve as a secondary monitor, third monitor, fourth monitor. It's an extension of, it's another monitor in your system. And so for now, what you're seeing is that I have moved the program. You can see I'm moving this box around. This is the program window in Ecamm. And that shows me what you're seeing on the stream. Now I could put anything in it. So let's put some other stuff in it. I can put my chat window here. And so then you can see the fact that I can kind of scroll through chat, right? And so I could see everything that you guys are seeing right now. Smaller LEDs would definitely travel better for sure. But again, I'm not using that in this particular case. So this is just literally dragging from my laptop through to the main screen, or to the prompter screen. So that's how I'm getting that up on the screen, to answer your question, Giovanni. And you do need, on a Mac, in order to get this to work, you need Camera Hub software installed. I saw some other questions about the software that I'm getting to here shortly. Now you can, just so you know, you can do this same concept with an iPad or a Bluetooth teleprompter. You can, using additional apps. Again, Bluetooth, just not even a thing anymore in my brain. Like, yes, you could get the Parrot prompter for $99 instead of $279. At that price point, the Parrot prompter, or any other version that's going to be less than $200, it's going to be small. It's smaller. It's going to be much smaller, right? You have to either use your phone or you have to invest in an iPad. And so it's just not even an option in my brain anymore for Bluetooth. Like, I've always capitulated, right? So like when it comes to LCD monitors, to prompters, you've got LCD, which are like $800 plus US, or you've got Bluetooth, which are less than 300, or less than 500. There are some that are a little bit more, like the Glide Gear, I think, is in the $499 range. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that in the chat. But the price point of this Elgato prompter, with the ease of use, with the functionality that it has, literally, I will never capitulate to you buying a Bluetooth prompter ever again. That's a harsh statement. Don't just go ahead and buy it. Go ahead. If you're going to want it, go ahead and get it because it's going to, like, the demand for this thing is proving to be quite high. And we're already in a December to January timeframe of delivery. So I would go ahead and get your order in if you have not already, so that you're not having to wait 6 months at some point, right? Okay. Oh, prediction time. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised either, but that is a little farther. It's a little further out of their wheelhouse. However, I would not be surprised. Yes, exactly, Dan. With the Glide Gear, you have to buy the small monitor separately, right? The Glide Gear is like an actual like iPad. Then you can buy an LCD on top of that. So again, I'm really, really blown away by this process. Okay. This is totally not prompter related, but that's called an IFB. So if you're the producer to the host, that's called an IFB. I forget what it stands for. Frequency broadcast, something in that range. But yeah, IFB is what you're looking for. If you actually need an IFB, you can hack that concept with just like a phone call and an in-ear monitor or an in-ear headset. And I have my favorite in-ear headset are the Mi 6s. We have a link that will drop in the chat room right now for you if you want something that is like an IFB, because it actually is flush with your ear, and it goes in, and then it goes around the back, and then you put it through the back of your shirt, so it's not seen on camera. So just as a heads up there. Oh, thank you. Here we go. Interruptible. I can't even say it. Interruptible. That. Okay, next question. We ran a poll. So Callie ran a poll. Are you ordering the Elgato Prompter? 45% of you are still undecided. So let me know, why are you undecided about this choice? Heck yeah, 23%, probably not 19, and I already ordered it, 11% of you. Okay, next question. Jim, can you discuss the camera mounting options? Elgato Video said it was even compatible with a phone. Yes. So, one second. Let me see if I have all of the things here. Okay. I'm getting some of the accessories. Oh my gosh. I told you it was a mess here. It is quite the mess. Okay. So, okay. So let me show you some of the accessories here. This is the Facecam Pro plate. This plate is where it's at these plates are where it's at in terms of the ease of mountability on the on the Elgato Prompter. So this face plate comes with it. This is the Facecam Pro plate. So if you are going to use it with a Facecam Pro, you're going to use this plate on the back of it. Now, in my video that I released yesterday, you see me assembling it, and I actually am working on a full tutorial video of how to set this up step by step. So look for that on this channel ASAP. Now, you take this off, and it's just 2 screws here and here, those big screws that are super easy to deal with. And so you take this plate off, you replace it with the mirrorless, like depending on what you're doing. Facecam Pro has a plate. If you're using it with a mirrorless camera like I am right now, then you're going to replace that with the mirrorless camera plate. You're also going to attach one of these little rings to your lens. So every lens is a different size. So if you have a 16 millimeter, so my 16 millimeter lens, which is what I'm using right now, has a 67 lens thread. This one right here, let me just unscrew this. So this is the 52 millimeter lens. There you go. And so that's on the 30 millimeter lens that I have on this one right here. So I'm not going to put it back on right now, but you have all these choices for all the different potential, generally speaking, popular lens. Yes, Dan, mine is a Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4 lens. And so you have these, like, they just give you a whole bunch of these threads and these lens screws, caps. Whatever. So that's what you're going to use for a mirrorless. So you're going to attach that to the thread of the lens, and then that slips into, I can't show it to you because it's being used on the prompter, but a similar looking back plate that you replace this with. So those two things go together. Then, if you have a camera, let's say you're using a different camera that doesn't have the right thread size, or if you're using a different webcam or things like that, you can use this back plate instead. So you have these different mounting options. And again, look for the video where I'm going to go through all of this in detail and show you the actual assembly process. But this will allow you to, it's just a full, here, let me get this out of the way. This is the shroud. This is just wide open. Is wide open, so you can put any camera through it. And then the shroud will actually allow you to keep the, because it's not tight around it and it's not mounted properly, then the shroud will get rid of the extra light coming in from it not having its own plate. Does that make sense? Okay, yes, I need another prompter so I can use it to record how you put together the prompter. Totally meta. Elgato. Actually, Elgato already sent me two, but one is at a wrong address, so. So that happened. That's why I got my video out late, but that was totally a mistake. And they tried to get it to me early. Okay. Then the phone. So the phone, they also have a little phone mount, and I think I left that in the box that is not in this room, so I can't show that to you right now, but again, I'll put that in the video. There's a phone mount that you then use, so you just swap it out based on what you need. There you go. There you go. Ouch, don't do that. Ouch. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Hank, no problem at all. Okay. And so I will say, when this came up, Dan kind of mentioned this in a stream like a few weeks ago, before this was announced. And so anyway, this was a whole thing that happened. When I saw the leaked photo of it, I was like, surely it's Facecam Pro only. And I was so glad that it's not. I mean, they would have limited their market significantly if they had only done that, but they gave us all the options, which was super exciting. Okay, Paper Pixie, will this have a permanent place in my studio? Abso-freaking-lutely yes. That is a 1000% abso-freaking-lutely yes. It will definitely be probably my main prompter, to be honest. Again, the clarity of this. Now, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to if it's going to be my main one, because I do use my main one for other things. But Zoom, I can read better on this than the one I'm using for my main one. And that's saying something, right? So, yeah, they call me Larry again. We love you anyway. Okay. Dan, did you test the prompter software it came with? Love that you can control it from the Stream Deck. Yes. My so again, watch the video that I did yesterday that released on this channel yesterday afternoon. I go through the pros and cons of the software, and again, tomorrow, so the next video, I kind of go in more depth about the software as well. So in this series of videos that I'm working on, you're going to get a really good look at the software. I am not a fan. The Camera Hub software, Camera Hub does a lot of stuff with the Elgato ecosystem. It is also the prompter software, and I put that in quotation marks because it is very, 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 very basic software when it comes to prompters. I use prompters, abuse them, and I put out on Twitter and social, like, I'm a snob when it comes to teleprompters because I have used so many of them. I've used super professional ones. I really understand prompters in depth because of the vast wideness of wide options that I've used over the years and in many, 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 many different scenarios, from the desk to professional multi-million dollar productions. So I'm kind of a snob when it comes to teleprompters. Let's just call it what it is. I'm very particular. That being said, like that's why I'm calling this a budget prompter, and it is not right for every scenario. The software itself is where I have the biggest problem. I love the hardware. Freaking love the hardware. The software is very limited. It's going to be right and okay and good enough for a lot of you. If you want more capabilities, if you're a fast talker, it doesn't go fast enough. It doesn't have all the controls that I want. So when it comes to software, for instance, this morning I shot a video using prompter software. I used my regular prompter software. I will not, I will not personally use Camera Hub software as the prompter software. It is going to be good enough for some of you. Just flat out saying that. It will. But if you want more controls, if you want to have like multiple scripts saved, etc., it's just not robust enough is probably the best term for that. But you can use it. You can use it with Stream Deck. You can use it with Pedal. There are so many different scenarios you can use it with. So it's, again, it's dependent on your use case and your needs of capability. Okay. Yeah, I'm there. I already know from my contacts at, which I'm sure you've heard the same stuff, Dan. They already are working on improvements to the software. I will say, regardless of how much improvement they make to the software, it is never going to perform as robustly as a full-on teleprompter software. Just not, because that's not what they've built, right? Like, you have to build a teleprompter software. They've built Camera Hub, which is the full ecosystem of use cases and capabilities for all their products. It's just not going to perform the same way. So that's fine. That doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to give you the pros and cons and the and all of the details. So, okay, so let's say Giovanni says, I want to read a script on the prompter over my broadcast image. How would you do that? Do you use Elgato? Okay, so you would not use Elgato's teleprompter software for that particular scenario where you want a transparent overlay. So if you want the transparent overlay, you're going to need to use a prompter software like Teleprompter. The logo is a red TP. It's the weirdest name because, like, every teleprompter software has the word teleprompter in it. But Teleprompter has the ability to do transparent. And so, like, that's the one I would probably recommend in terms of using that. So you're not going to use the Camera Hub software that Elgato gives you for free. However, it is free. So if cost is an issue and you don't need all the capabilities, again, it's good enough for some of you. Okay, coming, we've got lots more questions. Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the top of the hour. I'm going to go rapid fire here. Susan, this is exciting. I have a glide gear. Is that what you mean by professional? I'm trying to understand if I stay or switch. If you're happy with the glide gear, just stay with it. Like if you're happy with what you've got, there's no reason to spend more money unless you want to get rid of it. If you're unhappy with the glide gear, which I know a lot of our students love the glide gear and a lot of our students do not like the glide gear. I personally did not enjoy my glide gear experience. I got rid of my glide gear. That is not to say it's a bad prompter. I personally just did not like the experience that it was giving me. So yeah, so if you're happy with your devices, just because a new device comes out on the market doesn't mean you have to switch. If you're unhappy or you see a scenario in which this is going to give you a better result, then it's worth switching, right? How do you sell your glide gear? Well, anybody here want a glide gear? After what I just said, I don't know. But you can always find, marketplaces to do that. If you already have, yeah, the 10-inch Lilliput, is there any reason? The same answer for Dean as I just gave to Susan. And Dean, what are the significant software features? Again, go watch the video that I outlined all of that yesterday in the next video in this series. I'm creating a playlist for all Elgato Prompter stuff. I've got tutorials of how to actually set it up coming out. I've got who should buy it, who should not, what the actual use cases are for who should buy it, and then what it's not good for. I cast. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And so I've got tips and tricks in terms of reading prompter so that it sounds and looks natural. How many of you would like a video about reading naturally from a teleprompter? You will likely not know when I'm reading from a prompter versus when I'm just speaking. And so, because I have such amounts of experience doing that in various scenarios and sounding normal, like I'm just talking. And so I'm going to give you a list of tips and tricks in order to do that. Do you want that video? Do you want me to work on that video? Because that's a big kind of ordeal. Say yes in the comments or no if that is not of interest. Okay, I'm seeing lots of yeses already. Okay, cool. Keep those coming. Let's see. Mexican, is the monitor strong enough to hold another tablet or phone in case I was out in the field and not tethered to a computer desk? I don't know what you're asking to do. Are you wanting to put another iPad on top of the monitor? I would not do that. You would have to, unless you mounted, like, so Elgato has a video where they mount, like, they put the mount, there are two mounts. I'm going to show this to you in the setup. I can't show it to you right now, but in the setup video that I have coming out, there are two mounts. You can mount it in two different places. If you're going to add additional weight, then I would absolutely mount it with that secondary mount so that you have that extra support for any additional weight. Okay, lots of yeses for that teleprompter tips and tricks. I will work on that video ASAP. Marcus, no, I didn't. Did you not watch my video? Marcus, did you not watch my video? I love you, Marcus. Yeah, so this prompter, so one of the biggest things about prompters is the viewing angle. And so not all prompters have a wide viewing angle. This prompter does. So when you have a wide lens with a prompter that does not have a wide viewing angle, and it's a little bit more like that versus that, you actually have to crop in, you have to zoom your lens in or your angle in on the software in order to not get the vignette of seeing the prompter itself around the edges of your lens. So with the 16mm lens, I have not cropped, well, actually I am cropped in only because there's something in the background that I wanted to avoid seeing, but I actually don't have to crop in on this lens with this prompter. So that's a huge plus, but that is also in the video that I released yesterday. Just heads up. Any suggestions, JFK, on a good sub 16mm lens for the ZVE10? So I do the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens, and we have that link in our, if you go to livestreamingpros.com/gear or setup, either /gear or /setup, we have lens choices and my specific studio options as well. And yes, this is a great option for bullet points. If you're not really scripting, but you want bullet points, this is a great option. One thing that I'm working on that I have not quite figured out is scroll wheels. So I have a scroll wheel. I'm about to ruin my entire studio. If I go away, that's because never mind. I'm not going to pull it out because it is buried and it's going to cause everything to get disconnected. So I'm not going to do that. My scroll wheel for my prompter software works really, really well with prompter software. I have not gotten it to work with the Camera Hub software yet. I'm gonna keep working on that. I haven't had a lot of time to dig into that because I did get this this prompter late, but I will figure that out. That is one of the scenarios that I really want to figure out in terms of how to get a scroll wheel, because that's how I prefer to control my, I actually, even though you can use the Stream Deck to control it, I would rather use the pedal or a scroll wheel, not the Stream Deck. I was controlling it with the Stream Deck this morning, and I was like, hell no. Like, don't like that experience at all. I am a huge fan of scroll wheels for controlling prompter software, just for what it's worth. So yeah, okay. Can you do a comparison between this one and the Glide Gear? I can't because I no longer have a Glide Gear. Sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah. I am so discombobulated. This whole area is so discombobulated. It's just a freaking mess. I'll do a short about it maybe. Thank you, Marcus, for the super chat. This is I didn't watch the video tags. Marcus, I'm just so hurt. Who has not watched the video that I posted yesterday? Say me in the comments if you have not watched the video about the Elgato Prompter that I released yesterday. Say me, own up to it, fess up, make everybody else feel better. I'm hurt. I'm feeling like just this stab going into my chest right now. Marco says, what's first? JC. Okay, you guys go watch that next after we're done here. I'm going to wrap this up soon. Okay, Mexican, 100% watched twice. Thank you. You win 100 points. Wow. Lol. Now you feel so guilty. Yes, Adam, you have homework due. Everyone has homework right now, but Andrea hasn't. My like most the tight-knit community that I thought we've built here, I'm just starting to question it. I love each and every one of you. I understand that it was just yesterday afternoon. Okay, somebody was so busy. Susan was so busy. I'm going to take this stab, this knife that has been stabbed into my heart right now, and just like pull it out and know that you will watch it as of today, so that, because I've been talking about this stuff for an hour. In 9 minutes, you can get the full run through of this prompter right after this live, JC. Okay, good. Elevated awesomeness. Cool. Never question the community. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, thank you, Giovanni, for the super chat. I appreciate you. $20. Oh my gosh. Super. It's Giovanni. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. Really do appreciate you. Okay. Really quick, fully like rapid fire here. With so many options in your studio, how do you even decide what's going to be main cam? Well, I got to have something right in front of me. I mean, that's main cam. iCast, is the angled screen actually glass or plastic? It is glass. Might be plastic. I think it's glass. It's glass. It should be glass. It feels like glass. Can you do vertical video with the teleprompter? No, the teleprompter itself will not go vertical. Giovanni, if you don't personally use Camera Hub software, what do you use or recommend? Thank you, Giovanni, for that super chat. I use the teleprompter software. I'm going to link to that in the upcoming playlist videos that are coming out as well. Yes, not only will you watch it, you are all going to hit that like button. Yes, and you're also going to leave a comment on what you think about the Elgato Prompter. You're going to give me all that engagement since you waited over 24 hours. I love you guys. I love you all. Does the prompter screen seem robust enough for regular travel, and does it fold or break down into a travel-friendly size? No, that's the other thing. This does not fold down. It is kind of a one and done deal. So you could get, you could put together a Pelican case with the right setup for it. That's how I would travel with it, is get a small Pelican case, cut out the foam into the right position for this. Okay. Homework noted. Well done. Very informative. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Anthony, for the super sticker as well. Y'all, it is time to roll these beautiful bean credits. Now, don't go anywhere, because the magical Mr. Paul Dixon, we have Halloween graphics out in the store for you to use in your stream. But the magical Mr. Paul Dixon did something special, extra special with the credits for today. So as I roll them, do not leave this stream. Watch till the very, very, very end, even after you think it's over. I'm just giving you a heads up here. Even after it's over, stay. All right? All right. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this has been super helpful. Let's put our dancing shoes on. And John, comment on the... I will be happy to answer any questions that we did not get to today on this prompter discussion. Put those dancing shoes on and subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications. We are going to roll those beautiful bean credits. Bye. Oh, I'm still unmuted because I didn't do it right.